Tooney Khan has become an on-air character and a lot of my friends now owe me money. It's time for the Headlock Headlines! Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Welcome to episode 11 of the Headlock Headlines here on Tooney Town Wrestling. We don't break news, we aren't journalists, and we are not a credible news source, just an entertainment channel that looks at all the crazy wrestling news cycle and laughs at it along with all of you. Now, the wrestling world experienced a lot of low points and a few highs this last couple of weeks, but speaking of high, Matt Hardy is back.
Oh God, where?
Well, it looks like our old friend Tripp from the WWE has joined us again this week. Tripp, what's going on?
You mentioned Matt Hardy. Is he here now?
Well, no, he's not here. He's in TNA.
Oh, thank God. He's been blowing up our phones here for the last 2 months trying to get in touch with me.
I assume he's trying to get back in the WWE for one last run?
No, he wants my opinion on interior decorating. Of course he wants a run in WWE!
Wow, Jake.
But I told him the same thing the rest of the Hardy family tells him every time he tries to make holiday plans. Unless you're bringing your brother, no one wants you here.
You don't think Matt Hardy should get another run in the WWE?
What are you, insane? The guy's brain is like 83% concussion and only 10% brain.
What's the other 7%?
Drugs.
Ah, yes, of course.
And please tell me he's not doing that ridiculous broken thing again.
He is indeed.
Ugh, for the love of Harley Race.
I mean, I get it. The Broken Hardy gimmick worked all of one time. The first time, admittedly, was in TNA. But since then, we've seen it fail in both WWE and AEW spectacularly.
Weren't you preaching the praises of TNA just a few months ago?
I was. I thought they were onto something. I thought they could have risen up as a legitimate challenger brand if they just avoided doing anything stupid. And then they immediately fired Scott D'Amore, the man in charge of reviving the brand, and they've brought back a literal broken Matt Hardy and put him right into the main event scene.
And another one bites the dust.
It would certainly appear that way, but I hope they can turn it around because there's a lot of incredible young talent there.
Well, it's like I said when I purchased the New York territory from my dad back in 1982 to start the World Wrestling Federation. You need to be willing to change with the times.
That's true. Wait, what?
The old man never would have sold me the company if he knew I was going to go after the territory system the way that I did.
You were 14 in 1982.
A wonderkind, they called me. While others called me a madman. But I showed them all when I produced the first WrestleMania in Madison Square Garden.
Are you rewriting history right now?
Oh, there were many who said I was doing that when I took wrestling mainstream on cable television, and others who said it would never work. But with my wife Linda by my side, I reshaped the entire wrestling landscape.
I see what you're doing here.
What? Traveling down memory lane?
No, you're trying to erase from history and replace him with yourself.
Erase who?
Oh, for crying out.
You're being censored. Much like I was when the World Wildlife Fund sued me over the WWF initials back in the early 2000s. But I reinvented myself once more.
Stop it.
Oh, many tried to get me to stop. Like Eric Bischoff, who beat me in the ratings for 82 consecutive weeks before my legendary feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin ushered in the Attitude Era.
You were in DX in the Attitude Era.
I was doing just about everything there was to do in the Attitude Era. Announcing, booking, wrestling, nearly fighting Bob Costas on national television.
None of this is you.
I even coined my own catchphrase consisting of 2 words I got for ya. You're fired.
So does that mean you were the one that fired all your black and gold NXT rookies a few years back, like Gargano and Dexter Lumis and many others, until they were all hired back by, I also presume, you?
No, that was Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, come on!
Bruce uncovered the horrible truth of it all, you see.
Oh, no, not again.
You see, my black and gold NXT stars are very important for my ability to remain in power indefinitely.
This is going to be entirely fantastical and ridiculous, isn't it?
Each of them contains a piece of my superstar essence, an attention horcrux, if you will, ensuring that I live on to go over another day.
What?
You see, when you bury someone as completely as I did the entire roster in the early 2000s, it tears pieces of your essence away. And so I hid those pieces in my attention horcruxes until Bruce Pritchard found out and started trying to destroy them one by one.
Look, J.K. Rowling loves suing people. Can we not invoke that wrath?
My overness is eternal, an empire that will never end.
Has there ever been a more outrageously delusional, egomaniacal liar than you in the history of wrestling? Oh, right.
TK, Tooney Khan.
Oh, for the love of Ric Flair.
And he's the bomb. Yeah, he's TK. Tooney Khan is killing wrestlers' hugs, and he might be on drugs. Yeah, he's TK.
Hello, everyone! Hello, fans of real pro wrestling! It is I, the martyr of the mat himself, proving that I will give of myself to provide entertainment for you. Tooney Khan, live from my hospital bed, where I'm still recuperating from that heinous attack perpetuated by the elite on Dynamite.
Welcome back to the show, Tooney Khan.
I couldn't help but notice that among my many well-wishers all week, I got nothing from you, monster.
That's because I don't wish you well.
How dare you? I was viciously attacked physically, suffering devastating injuries at the hands of my own EVPs and one of the pillars of my company. I am grievously injured. My neck may never be the same again.
Hey, is that CM Punk over there?
Where? Oh, you think you're so smart, don't you, monster?
No, I just think you're very, very dumb.
Trip will back me up on this.
I will.
Of course! Grizzled ring veterans like us understand why you need to give of your own body for the good of the business.
What?
I'm sure you understand as a fellow talent/booker and promoter. You know, as a peer.
Stop now.
Sometimes, man, when you're in that ring and you hear the roar of your most diehard fans and the much louder artificial roar of hundreds of seat fillers who are told when to cheer and boo, you just forget about your personal safety, and you'll do just about anything to make sure that those people get their money's worth. By that, I mean the money that the fans paid and the money that we pay the seat fillers.
Jobber Monster, make him stop talking or he's actually gonna need that neck brace.
If I knew how to do that, I would have done it 11 episodes ago.
When I think back on all the great performers who came before me, Harley Race, Lou Thez, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Daniel Bryan Danielson, I am just humbled to know that my name is now counted among them.
Are you maybe forgetting someone?
Oh, of course! How could I be so foolish? It's the pain meds. I could never overlook the greatest wrestler of all time.
Exactly.
Will Ospreay!
What?
Tooney, there have been a lot of things that people have called AEW's finger poke of doom over the years. The exploding ring that didn't explode, the football field match, Matt Hardy teleporting, Jericho and MJF performing a musical number together, Orange Cassidy. But even the finger poke of doom itself pales in comparison to the tummy boop of doom. The fiasco that you built around yourself was maybe the cringiest, worst piece of wrestling television this side of Dr. Heine.
Oh, that's ridiculous. It was a monumental moment in the history of pro wrestling.
You came out there with a dopey smile on your face, you said absolutely nothing, which admittedly was my favorite part about this whole thing, and then you got hit in the stomach by Jack Perry and sold it like you just fell out of a plane.
Oh, well, that part wasn't supposed to happen.
It wasn't?
No, I was supposed to take the shot to the stomach and double over like a normal human being would have.
So what happened?
Jack didn't know about my special condition.
What condition?
I have a rare condition called Pillsburyitis. If I even so much as get booped in the tummy, I'm rendered completely unconscious for several minutes. I mean, it's just lights the hell out. Boom! Like the soul leaving the body.
Pillsburyitis?
Well, that's not the real name. That's just what I call it. The actual medical term is tum-tum-boo-boo puss-boy cuntoplasia.
Oh, what the hell?
Suddenly attention horcrux isn't looking so bad, is it?
I didn't appreciate what I had when I had it.
Unfortunately, there is no known cure.
You're taking up a hospital bed that an actual sick person might need right now.
Hey, I'm tired of you downplaying the severity of my condition. I even went to the NFL draft wearing my neck brace.
Oh, you did too? That's crazy. I got a text from Pat McAfee during the NFL draft with a picture of some pathetic little Melvin smiling like an 8-year-old with ice cream while wearing a neck brace and turning his head with full rotation.
Trip?
Yeah, he even said, check out this pathetic little puss boy, and then he kept paying guys to clap behind his head so that he'd keep turning around.
Is that why people were clapping? I thought they watched Dynamite and were applauding me.
Well, that would be an even more foolish assumption than usual, Tooney, seeing as how that episode of Dynamite had a slew of production issues, from audio troubles to a blank picture-in-picture. It also boasted the lowest Dynamite rating of all time in its regular time slot.
What? That can't be true.
You haven't seen it?
No, they haven't told me anything in here. Every time I ask how Dynamite did this week, they just keep sending me Jell-O pudding.
And that works?
Of course it does. It's really yummy pudding. Yum yum in my tub.
Huh. I guess it is a thing.
You know, speaking of drafts,
Oh, Jesus.
the WWE Draft was once more a massive success. It's like I've always said, it's the time in which we shake things up a bit.
You didn't say that. Used to say it. Ah, damn it.
And what a draft it was, shuffling the entire roster and shaking up the very foundation of the WWE forever.
How did it do that? You kept just about every big name right where they were. The only notable moves were the Imperium going to Raw, Nia Jax going to SmackDown, but Jey Uso, The Bloodline, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and others all stayed right where they were.
Well, that's how a real draft would work in a real sport.
Real sports aren't drafting existing signed talent.
But if they were, this would be what they'd do.
But they don't. If you were going for realism, then it would have just been drafting NXT talent up to Raw and SmackDown.
I hear your feedback, and it's important to me.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm now going to completely forget about it and do whatever the hell I want.
Of course you are. Well, at least you signed Drew McIntyre for another 3 years.
Why is everyone surprised about that? He was never even close to leaving. What made everyone think he was going to jump ship right as he suddenly got tremendously over?
Aww.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Ew.
The sweet sounds that often herald my arrival.
Looks like we're being joined now by Dave Schmeltzer of the Wrestling Slobserver newsletter. And Dave, you were the one casting doubt for months about Drew's contract status.
Yes, because, it's been tumultuous process, and, it's very close to, he's close to leaving.
He just signed on for another 3 years.
No he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Not, according to my sources,
You have no sources in WWE anymore. And if you do, they're purposely feeding you false information. The Observer's WWE coverage over the last year has been nothing short of catastrophic. You've shown your wrinkly, sagging ass time and time again, and your insight is typically common sense guesses that anyone who has watched wrestling for any length of time or has a basic understanding of storytelling could predict.
that's, ridiculous. For instance, I have it on, a good, authority that both Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest will be retaining their championships at, Backlash this weekend.
Anyone could have guessed that, Dave. They're both new champions a month into their respective reigns. And in Cody's case, he's finally champion after a 2-year story. An 8-year-old could tell you this is what was going to happen.
How do you know my source?
Your source is an 8-year-old child.
They're a long-time, subscriber, and, I have no reason to, doubt them.
Look, I believe you on things pertaining to AEW because we all know where you get your information from there. But your window into the WWE has been closed and boarded up for a long time.
Well, I reported on a string of, WWE injuries recently, and I was, accurate. I was even cited in, Sports Illustrated.
You weren't accurate, though. You said Dominic Mysterio was going to need surgery and be out of action for 9 months. Then Dominic himself tweeted out that he didn't need surgery.
Well, clearly,
So now, not only were you wrong and made yourself look like a complete jackass yet again in public, but you made Sports Illustrated lose the last shred of credibility it had as well.
You, don't understand the process here. You could never do what I do.
You're right, I couldn't, because I'm not a journalist, and neither are you.
You'll see how right I am when, AEW's next, media rights deal, comes through.
Yes, we all saw and heard your tremendous insider insight on this one, where you said that if Tooney Khan manages to get any media rights deal whatsoever, it proves that AEW is a success and that he isn't a money mark.
I did.
But you're being entirely disingenuous there.
What? I, don't even know the meaning of the word.
It's highly likely that AEW is going to land some kind of deal. TNA is still on TV, so there's no way AEW isn't going to find a home. Whether that's WWD or someplace else, it'll get a deal. However, just getting a deal isn't what's important here. What if the deal is just for Dynamite? What if they're being moved to True TV? What if they're given a fraction of the money they were expecting? This isn't a pass or fail situation here, Dave. The quality of the deal is what matters. Tony wants hundreds of millions of dollars per year from the network, and if he gets what he has now or worse, that's not a success.
If they get a deal, then they're a success.
Dave, look, I know you're an idiot, but you're not that much of an idiot, okay? You know enough about TV to understand that getting a worse deal doesn't make AEW a success. You're just laying the groundwork for calling this a win when they get whatever putrid rotten deal WBD farts out.
And it'll be proof that the style of wrestling that I've championed for years is, a success in the U.S., as I've always said.
Actually, Dave, the more you talk, the more I come to think you're not as stupid as we all sometimes think you are. I believe that most of the wrestling world sees you as a befuddled old man on the spectrum with thin skin clinging to relevancy in the midst of the mother of all midlife crises. But despite you never actually being in the wrestling business, I think there's one thing you picked up from it along the way. You're a connie, a hustler, and a con man. You convince people that you know things they don't, and you crack open a door to a world that your subscribers are desperate to be closer to. But what they don't understand is that you have no actual access or insight, at least on the WWE level. You're selling them thoughts and prayers. You're giving them snake oil and calling it Dynamic Dave's Miracle Elixir. You're taking their money and offering nothing, and you've enriched yourself off of the desperation of an eager fan base for years. You're a phony, lying, biased, egocentric, thin-skinned old bastard who has already been replaced by more reputable outlets. And you know this, Dave. You understand that you've reached the end, but at the same time, you're closer to the wrestling world than you've ever been because you got let in by a moron and his opportunistic friends. So you'll do anything and everything to ensure that you keep the con going with your audience while doing everything in your power to prop up the one man in the world stupid enough to let you anywhere near the wrestling business.
Oh.
Ugh. Your negative impact on the wrestling world has never been more clear.
Wow! Oh, wow, that was some good pudding.
Welcome back, Tooney Khan.
What happened? Why is Dave Meltzer here in my hospital room crying?
Because I did what had to be done.
Oh, it'll be okay, Dave. I'll call Will Ospreay to come in and give you a hug.
Will Ospreay is there now?
Well, most of my roster is here at the hospital.
Because they're visiting you?
No, because they're injured.
Ah, that makes more sense.
So many of them are here right now. Powerhouse Hobbs, Julia Hart, MJF, Darby Allin after getting hit by that bus. Daniel Bryan Danielson even has his own reserved suite here. It's like hanging out with friends, I assume.
Tooney, maybe the way you're managing things has something to do with all the injuries that are piling up.
Hey, I wasn't driving that bus.
No, not that one. I mean, there's been a huge string of injuries in both companies lately. Maybe someone needs to step in and ask why that's happening.
Oh, I know exactly why it's happening.
Why?
Because you're a butt munch. Ha! Nailed it!
Are you just incapable of having an adult conversation?
I think I proved that pretty well at the NFL Draft.
I'll say you did. Despite the tummy boop of doom being ridiculous, it did get people's attention. You finally had people talking about AEW based on something that happened on your show and not some ridiculous backstage drama or weird shoot statement.
I sure did.
And then 24 hours later, you flushed all that down the Pisha Do when you had a chance to positively promote AEW in front of a massive audience at the NFL Draft, and you chose to instead pull out some weird, cringy attack at the WWE that made no sense.
How did it make no sense? I was very clear. AEW is like the Pepsi of pro wrestling, and WWE is like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling.
What the hell do Pepsi and Harvey Weinstein have to do with one another?
It's the oldest feud in the book.
How?
Much like with every new wrestler I bring in, you're just gonna have to do the research on your own there, pal. I'm not helping.
Don't you think that this comparison might have rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including the NFL, the organization with the massive merchandising license with the WWE?
Please! The NFL works for the owners of the teams, and my dad is a team owner.
And what did your dad have to say about all this?
Oh, I don't know. He hasn't talked to me since right after we shot that angle on Dynamite.
Well, what did he say to you then?
Oh, he was super impressed. He said, This is what you're spending all my money on.
And he used that specific tone.
More or less.
I'm just saying the other team owners who have been selling these WWE Championship belts with their logos on them might not be so keen on what you did there. Maybe you'd like to try again.
Look, the fact of the matter is that AEW and WWE are in fierce competition with one another. AEW is like the Burger King of pro wrestling, and WWE is like the apartheid of pro wrestling.
Tooney, you keep saying ridiculous things like this, and now once again, no one cares about what you're doing on TV, and they're only talking about backstage garbage with no payoff.
Hey, as I've always said, controversy creates cash.
You haven't always said that. Eric Bischoff has. And despite your desperation to be the man that you hate the most in the world, your controversy isn't creating any cash. You've had two of the worst rated Dynamites of all time the last 2 weeks, and you still haven't locked in a new media rights deal.
I know what I'm doing.
You don't, though! You have no idea what you're doing. Do you ever consider the consequences of your actions?
People like me don't suffer consequences, monster. You just don't understand because you're not a veteran of the ring like me and Trip. Right, Trip?
Wait, where is he?
I don't... What are you...
Boop. You did what had to be done, my friend.
Yeah, thank me later. Me and Sean are gonna go teabag Daniel Bryan while he's in an iron lung. Come on, Sean, whip him out!
Triple H, everyone. And that's it for another episode of the Headlock Headlines, folks. Thanks for tuning in and for giving our wacky brand of wrestling humor a chance. Check us out on Patreon over at patreon.com/TooneyTownWrestling. We're doing a lot of fun exclusive content over there with early access to song parodies and facelock features. I even started doing a series of director's commentaries over there for the headlines, and we've got the first one up there now. We'll eventually have one for this episode too. Hello, future Marvin. Also, make sure you check out the features and song parodies here on the channel as well. My interview with Dylan Postel, aka Hornswoggle, is up on the channel now, and it's a great hour-long discussion. We also got Tooney Talk Wrestling live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. EST, so come join us live with the conversation there. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. Once more for Tooney Khan, Dave Meltzer, and Trip, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!